the ticket people then came down and they were like, you have to leave, you have to come out right now. And I was like, no. She's like, here. And I was like, I'm a hit a bitch. Hi, how are you? I hope that you're very, very well. So today I'm going to be talking about when I got kicked out of the last night of Heathers in London at the Other Palace. When it happened, one of my friends messaged me when they were like, you should do this in a video. I was so upset and angry at the time that I was like, I can't even talk about it because I'm dramatic. But I thought, do you know what, enough time has passed. I've been back to the Other Palace. I saw Heathers again when it went to the Haymarket. You know, it's all behind me now. And I thought now is the time to share this experience because it was really annoying. This was in 2018. Heathers was in London and they did a run first at the Other Palace. I went to see it quite a few times actually. I got tickets for the last night as well and I went with my friend Sarah. So I think it should be said as well, I love the Other Palace and I love that production of Heathers. So this is no hatred to the Other Palace or Heathers. I think it was just a few things that all just kind of culminated to it just being really awkward and uncomfortable and bad. If you don't know me, by the way, my name is Amy. I make a lot of theatre content on YouTube. I talk about a lot of like Hamilton, Heathers, Mean Girls, lots of contemporary musicals, Glee, Star Kid, that kind of vibe. So if you do like that kind of stuff, then please do subscribe. That would be really nice. And I'm also on Instagram and Twitter as well if you fancy following over there as well. Okay, so, as I say, I went to go and see the show a few times and I would just book tickets because, I don't know, do you know what? I just loved it. I thought it was a great production. I could fault very, very little of it. I just loved it. So me and my friend Sarah, we both loved it and we were both like, I want to go to the final night. So we booked tickets. So on that day, I actually drove to the theatre and I got there super early. Me personally, I hate being late. It's like my ultimate thing. I hate it. So I got there super early as I usually do. I remember I actually filmed an Instagram live before going in because I was so early. I was like, let's just chat on Instagram. And then we went into the theatre again super duper early. So the Other Palace is quite strange because it doesn't necessarily have like a box office because they've got two theatres in there. Over by the main house they've got like a little desk where you go up to get your tickets and things. And I remember I went up and I said, oh, I'm picking up for Amy Lovatt, and they went down their list and they found me on the list. And they said, oh yeah, you've got 2 tickets, but it's an e-ticket, so you can just show it on your phone. So I was like, okay, went off, got a cocktail, went back, and we went to queue up to go into the theatre, and I showed the ticket on my phone, and it scanned, and she looked at it and she was like, you go down here, it's on your left. So we went down and it was on the left. So we were sat in our seats waiting for the show to start, and this is literally 2 minutes before the show starts. These 4 people come in, they're like, you're sat in our seats? And we were like, wait, what? And they were like, you're sat in our seats. So the ticket people then came down and they were like, you have to leave, you have to come out right now. And I was like, no, like I've got the tickets, I'll find it on my phone. I had done a screenshot of my ticket on my phone and I went to the screenshot and I pulled up a ticket from a previous time I went to see the show, and that was the seat numbers that we were in. And I was like, I can't find my screenshot. And they pulled us out and I was starting to panic. I was like, oh my God, did I not book the tickets? Did I imagine this whole thing? Am I just stupid? But the worst thing was the fact that I was in the auditorium and when Heathers was on, I did quite a lot of Heathers content. There were quite a few people in the audience who knew who I was from YouTube and then were tweeting me like, why did you just get kicked out of Heathers? Amy, what's happening? And everybody was staring at me because this is 2 minutes before the show, so literally everyone was seated down, and then these 4 people came in and they ended up being the producers. So this is why they were like, no, these aren't your seats. These seats were saved for the producers. So I was like, what the hell? So we're stood outside. I'm trying to find it on my phone, my booking confirmation. Now, the worst thing about the Other Palace is it's got awful signal. You cannot get a good signal at the Other Palace. And I was on their Wi-Fi and everything and I was still struggling. I don't know why. Sometimes Hotmail, emails, I don't know, they just seem to go missing. So we were stood outside and they were like, we're gonna hold the show for a minute. And I was like, great. And so at this point, like, the duty manager was there, and it was me, my friend, and the ticketing people, and I was really stressed. I was like, the show's about to start. I hate being late. I'm sure I've paid for these tickets though. And then I was like, wait, when I came in earlier, I said to somebody about my tickets, and they were like, yeah, you're on the call over sheet. So a call over sheet is basically a list of everybody who's booked in for the show. And so if somebody doesn't have their ticket or whatever, then you can find them that way. I work in a theatre. I know. And so I was like, you had me on the list earlier. And they were like, yeah, Amy Lovatt, 2 seats, row F. And they went in and they were like, yeah, those 2 seats are empty. And I was like, yeah, that's me. Can I have those seats? Can I go in? And they were like, no, you're gonna have to find the ticket. And I was like, why? That's my name. This is my name on my bank card. This is me. This is the bank card I paid on. Those 2 seats are empty. They're under my name. Why can't I go in? And they were like, I don't care. You're gonna have to find it on your phone. And I was like, listen, I cannot find this on my phone. I couldn't find it. I don't know why. Anyway, I don't know why. In the end, they were like, the show's gonna start. So they started the show, and I was so embarrassed and I was so upset, I can't even like put it into words. I was just, because at first I thought it was my fault, but then, I'm sorry, they were just being difficult. The thing is as well that there are people at the other palace who know who I am as well, like the security guard, we always chat. There are people who work front of house who know who I am.
I don't mean this in like a big-headed way, by the way. What I mean is like, because I've spoken to them many times and people have come up to me about YouTube who work there, and so I know that they know who I am in that way. I don't mean to be like, you know who I am. It's not like that.
At the time, they have what's called like a friend of the other palace, so you get like priority booking and stuff. I was literally a friend of the other palace, and I'm like, I know you know who I am and that this is my name and that I bought those tickets. Why aren't you letting me in? So the show started, and then they were like, right, we'll go and print off your tickets. So they went around to the bar and printed off the tickets, and they were like, let's just check the last footage on your bank card. And I showed them, and they were like, oh yeah, these are your tickets. And I was like, yeah, no. So you could have actually just let me in because we know that it was my tickets. And also it's the fact that they're like, if I had the wrong tickets, their system or whoever was on the desk should have seen when I went in if I had the tickets for the wrong day. But anyway, it gets worse. So me and Sarah were waiting outside and we were like, can we go in? And they were like, no, we have to wait for latecomers. And I was like, please don't say latecomers. Honestly, anybody who knows me, like in real life, knows that it is my thing. I hate lateness. It gives me so much anxiety. So I'm mortified. So we're stood outside, and then this girl, right? This girl who was front of house started then like dancing, but like doing the choreography from Candy Store, which is the second song in the show. And we were like, kill somebody. Because at this point, the thing is as well, if they'd have just let me go in when they saw it was my name and the seats were empty and it was me, just because they didn't see the confirmation on my phone, it's on their system, they can see all the details. Just because I didn't have it on my phone, they wouldn't let me in, and it was their fault that I missed the start of the show. What also really frustrates me is I've been before to the other palace and I've just gone up to the desk, and if you say I don't have the confirmation on my phone, then they just print the tickets out anyway. So I know that it isn't like a stipulation that you have to have that. At least it wasn't at the time, I don't know what it is now. But anyway, so this girl starts doing the Candy Store choreography right next to us. Like, we're literally here and she's like here, and I was like, I'm a hit a bitch. That's mean, but I was really angry. Because the thing is, I think when you can see as well that somebody is like, I wasn't crying, I wasn't whatever, but you can tell that we were upset and embarrassed. To then go and do the choreography from the show in front of us is like a real dick move. And then, so at the other palace, there is then basically like a door and then another door with like a little tiny box, and then you get into the theatre. So then they were like, right, we're gonna take you into the box before we take you into the theatre for latecomers. So she takes us into the box and we can hear the show, but we can't see it. And this girl starts mouthing along and like whispering the lines of the show. And we're like, I understand that you know the show, but you also have been here and witnessed this entire situation, and now you're gonna stand there and like whisper along to the show. Hun, please stop. So then we get taken in to the back of the theatre. So basically the other palace has got like a walkway at the back so that you can get around to the other side of the auditorium. And she was like, you're gonna have to stand here until the end of Fight for Me. So they go and position us in between Lawrence O'Keefe on my left and Andy Fickman on my right. Now, adding on to this, I'd spoken to Lawrence O'Keefe a couple of times at the theatre, and I also did a workshop with Andy Fickman, so I also knew that they knew who I was. And there I am, stood there like, yeah, I'm the person who was late. But I wasn't actually late. So I'm stood there and I was like, and we had to stand there between them for an entire song. And so I'm stood there and I'm so embarrassed. Honestly, I couldn't enjoy the part of Fight for Me that we were seeing anyway. And then at the end of the song, they were like, yeah, you can go down now. And we walked down the steps and like everybody looked at us. Oh my God, to say I was embarrassed was just such an understatement. And it was so hard to enjoy the rest of the show. Like, I don't know, maybe some people don't get it, but like being late is so embarrassing to me. And also, like, I don't want people to think that A, I'm late or I was cheating to try and get in, or just to think negatively about me. And I was just so embarrassed. And the fact of the matter is that it was a joint issue, I suppose. I showed the wrong ticket originally and sat in the wrong seat, but then they had the call over list with my name, address, phone number, like card that I paid on and whatever. You had all that information at your hands, and yet you like drew it out unnecessarily so that we ended up missing the show. I don't know why it was done. Like, they weren't apologetic at all at the fact that they definitely just like dragged it out for no reason. When they were saying like, no, we have to see your confirmation on your phone. The thing is as well, we did try and say things like, but why? I can see I'm on the list. This is me, blah, blah, blah. Please just let us go into the theatre. I've spent a lot of money on this show. We bought premium seats as well, and for Heathers, premium seats were quite expensive for the other palace, so I was fuming. But it was this mixture of anger and frustration and sadness and like embarrassment. I don't know, it was just like sad. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I've been to the other palace since, and then I saw Heathers again when it moved to the Haymarket. So, you know, as I say, this isn't any hate on anybody in particular, but just my experience of getting kicked out of Heathers. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. So, yeah. Anyway, that is just my little video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more videos like story times and things, I've got myself in a few strange situations over the years, so if you do want story times, then let me know. And yeah, I hope that you're all looking after yourself, taking care. Please support the Black Lives Matter movement. Please take care of people. I love you lots, and I will see you soon. Bye!